once your shapes are completed on your picture, yes, we can add a little more creativity to it. So if you want to make like hoses or tubes or something coming out of our objects, you can. If you want to leave them as they are, that's fine too. For example, if I was going to do some kind of a tube coming out of this cube, I would put a curved line on the box, and then I'm gonna make a tube that's going around to the back. I'm curving it around to the back, and then we erase what is inside. And to make it look like a hose, I can add curved lines to it all the way around. So now there's some kind of a hose or an arm coming out of the box, which is something you are able to do to your projects. Let's do that one more time. Curve, and then draw a couple lines wherever the tube is going to go, and then add curved lines on it. Makes it look rounder. And erase. So they don't have to be anything, they're just random geometric objects that are meant to look a little odd. Then you get to decide what direction your paper goes. So take a look at it, figure out what makes more sense to you. You're going to need our friend the ruler again, and find halfway on your page. You're going to split it in two. I'm going to take your ruler, and I'm drawing, I'm bumping and jumping over my objects. This line goes all the way across and bumps and jumps over my objects. This is the horizon line, where our ground meets the sky. So the sky will go all the way down here, and all this is ground. Next, we're going to do something called linear perspective, which is the technique where you use lines and you make them all go to a certain point, and it creates the illusion of distance, makes them go way off into eternity, as our artist said. So on the horizon, I'm making a tiny dot. If you have a shape in that location, make a tiny dot on the shape. Don't make it very large. Going to take my ruler, lining it up with the dot, and also lining it up with the corner. Make a line. It's going to bump and jump over your objects. One more time. Line it up with the dot, make sure it's touching. So I like to put my pencil on the dot and make the ruler touch it. And then down here, make sure it's touching the corner. Repeat, bump and jump over your objects. So we can start to see lines going back in the distance. And then down here, I'm going to do a tiny bit of measuring. I'm going to mark every 3 inches. So marking, making sure my ruler is at 0, 0's on the edge. Marking at 3, 6, 9. Don't have to mark at 12 because that's the corner. And then we play connect the dots. This dot, which is your vanishing point, touches the mark we just made. And bump and jump. Repeat. Vanishing point to the mark you just made. Okay, now we have this empty space out here and needs more to it. So I'm going to add another line, just one line, to break up the space. Every time I go back to the vanishing point, I'm bumping and jumping over objects. Just makes this area smaller. I think I'll put one more right here. Okay. So now we have the lines going to eternity. And we're going to make lines that are horizontal that go back. Creates the checkerboard illusion. So I'm going to start with laying my ruler down so it's touching the bottom of the page, and drawing a line up here. Bump and jump. Then lay your ruler down again. This time I'm going to scooch it down a little bit. Make a line. What I'm doing is these horizontal lines, as they get closer to the vanishing point, are going to get closer together. Let me show you another one. So you can see the distance I have here, the distance that is here, and the distance is here. They're shrinking as it goes up. So lay the ruler down, bump and jump. And if you make these lines light, we won't have any problems. All right, one more. Got room for one more.